Hey there! Today, let's take a journey back in time to explore the incredible life of William Shakespeare. Think of this as a friendly chat, a way to make these facts stick without all the stress of a textbook. So, can you recall who is often considered the greatest writer in the English language? That's right, it's the one and only William Shakespeare. Let's start at the very beginning. William Shakespeare was born in Stratford-upon-Avon, and this is something that's been asked in the exam, so hold on to that thought. While his exact birth date is a bit of a mystery, we know he was baptized on April 26, 1564 in Stratford. Interestingly, we celebrate his birthday on April 23, which also happens to be St. George's Day. It's a nice little poetic coincidence, don't you think? Hold on to your hats, because here's something you probably didn't expect. He also passed away on April 23 in 1616, when he was just 52 years old. It's a date that bookends his life perfectly. Now, let's talk about his family. His father, John Shakespeare, was a glove maker and a respected figure in the community. His mother, Mary Arden, came from a wealthy family, so it's fair to say he had a solid foundation. William was the eldest of 8 children, which means he likely had a lot of responsibility from a young age. He probably attended the local grammar school, but Ben Jonson, a contemporary writer, famously said that Shakespeare knew small Latin and less Greek. Again, this remark was asked in exam. Now, for a bit of personal life. At just 18 years old, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway, who was 8 years his senior. Together, they had 3 children, a daughter named Susanna, and twins Hamlet and Judith. This one's a bit of a tearjerker. His only son, Hamlet, died at age 11. Many scholars believe this deeply impacted his writing, particularly his later tragedies. This period, from 1585 to 1592, is often called the lost years because we have very little information about what he was doing. It's a bit like a mystery novel. This is a fun one. In 1592, a rival playwright, Robert Greene, called Shakespeare an upstart crow. Pause here and note this down, because it's a very famous quote and has been asked in exam. This shows that even back then, he was making a name for himself. And not everyone was happy about it. You'll love this part. Shakespeare's first printed works were 2 long narrative poems, Venus and Adonis in 1593 and The Rape of Lucrece in 1594. These were his very first published works, and another point that's been asked in exam. Let's decode this. Shakespeare didn't just write plays, he was a key player in the theatre world. He became a founding member of a famous acting company called the Lord Chamberlain's Men, a fact that's a frequent flyer on the exam. After King James I took the throne, the company was renamed the King's Men, a tidbit you should definitely tuck away as it's been asked in exam too. For nearly 20 years, he was a writing machine, producing about 2 plays a year. We see his genius in his great tragedies like King Lear and Macbeth, as well as his great romances like The Winter's Tale and The Tempest, which has also been asked in exam. Shakespeare retired to Stratford around 1610, settling in a house called New Place. His connection with the Globe Theatre ended when it tragically burned down in 1613, a fact that's been asked in exam. Just before his death, he signed his will on March 25, 1616. And just like we started, we end in Stratford-upon-Avon, where he is buried in the Holy Trinity Church. It's a life full of drama, poetry, and a whole lot of genius.